Rose may have wanted to be drawn like one of Jack's French girls aboard the Titanic, but did Kate Winslet regret doing such a pivotal scene? To the naked eye, nude scenes are just part of the business, but the truth behind them can be pretty uncomfortable. One of the most controversial moments in American cinema took place in the interrogation scene in 1992's Basic Instinct, in which Sharon Stone repeatedly crosses and uncrosses her legs to reveal that she's gone commando beneath her white dress. That single scene has been discussed and analyzed for years, and Stone has been living with the fallout for more than 3 decades.
I like men like that. Men who give me pleasure.
In her memoir, The Beauty of Living Twice, Stone alleges that she was hoodwinked into taking off her underwear in the midst of filming. It wasn't until she viewed a final cut of the film that she realized what had occurred. She wrote, "That was how I saw my vagina shot for the first time. Long after I'd been told, we can't see anything, I just need you to remove your panties, as the white is reflecting the light, so we know you have panties on." In fact, Stone was so incensed that she stormed into the production booth and slapped the face of director Paul Verhoeven. Asked about an adult cut of the film being released to mark its 30th anniversary, Stone told A Current Affair that there was nothing she could do to prevent the even steamier version from being released, saying, "Regrets are like farts, you can't get them back. Once they're out, they're stinky and gone." To fans of Downton Abbey, Jessica Brown-Findlay is best known for portraying Lady Sybil Crawley, whose unexpected death was a major shocker for viewers. While playing Lady Sybil proved to be her breakout role, she had several screen credits before that. In fact, her first major screen role came in the 2011 film Albatross, in which she played an aspiring writer who has an affair with her friend's father. In one scene, she lifts up her shirt to display her bare breasts, something she now regrets. Speaking with Radio Times, Brown-Findlay blamed her own inexperience, saying she didn't realize that she could have refused. She said in the interview, "To be honest, Albatross was naivete, and not knowing that I could say no. I had no idea what was going to happen and thought I was going to be shot from behind." She also stripped down in a subsequent project, the 2012 TV series Labyrinth, but she explained why the experience was so different from that earlier one, even if she wasn't particularly comfortable doing it. She told Us Magazine, "In Labyrinth, it is a very fleeting moment that we shot in one take, but I did find it very odd being naked in front of lots of people. In any case, it appears unlikely that she'll be appearing nude on screen again anytime soon." She told Us Magazine, "But actually, it's not something I would do again." In Showtime's Weeds, Mary Louise Parker starred as a suburban soccer mom left destitute after her husband's death, who begins selling marijuana to make ends meet. Because the series aired on a cable channel and not broadcast TV, nudity and profanity were the rule, not the exception. That nudity extended to Parker, who appeared stark naked while soaking in a bathtub during the season 4 finale. In an interview with More, she admitted that she wished she hadn't, saying, "I didn't think I needed to be naked, and I fought with the director about it, and now I'm bitter. I knew it was going to be on the internet." Mary Louise shows off her big nipples. "I wish I hadn't done that. I was goaded into it." However, in a subsequent interview with TV Guide, Parker clarified that it was the way the scene had been edited that she took issue with, not her nudity, saying, "They made it sound like I was like, they made me take my clothes off and chain me to the bathtub. I mean, if you know me, it's like someone sneezes and I take my clothes off. I'm always naked. I'm naked right now, in fact."
Go away, Andy.
Natalie Portman has appeared nude in 2 films. Director Miloš Forman's Goya's Ghosts and Wes Anderson's short film Hotel Chevalier. That was surprising considering that she was once so opposed to on-screen nudity that director Wayne Wang removed a love scene involving her character from the script for 1999's Anywhere But Here after she threatened to drop out of the film rather than strip down. As she told The Guardian several years later, her views had clearly shifted when it came to Anderson's short film. She explained, "I think it's beautiful and I think it's tastefully done, and I love the short, and it still wasn't like full nudity." In fact, Portman made it clear that she's all in to get naked if it's an integral part of the story. What she does take issue with, however, is when those scenes are taken out of context and displayed online. She told MTV News, "I don't really have regrets, it's more that I don't like misappropriation of stuff. Like when you create something as part of a story and then a piece of it ends up on a porn site. Because I really don't have an issue with it artistically, I just don't like when people take it out of a story." Of all the movies in which Kate Winslet has appeared, the one that tends to stand out in most people's memories is Titanic. In the Oscar-winning 1997 blockbuster, Winslet removes her clothing in one sexy scene as her character Rose poses nude for Leonardo DiCaprio's Jack to sketch.
I want you to draw me like one of your French girls.
During a screening celebrating the film's 2012 re-release, Winslet joked that she wasn't planning on watching that particular scene. She told The Sun, "I'll be in the bar by that point. I wish I hadn't shown so much flesh, but I was young and I knew I had things to prove." Over the years, though, Winslet has demonstrated a willingness to get naked in front of the camera. She also appeared nude in various other films, including Hamlet, Hideous Kinky, and 2020's Ammonite. Jennifer Lawrence co-starred with Chris Pratt in the 2016 sci-fi film Passengers, a significant role in that it marked the first time she ever simulated sex on camera. She told The Hollywood Reporter at the time, "I had my first real sex scene a couple weeks ago and it was really bizarre. It was really weird." While she conceded that there were no real problems with the conditions and that everything had been done in the manner it should have been, it still felt very strange to her. In order to relax enough for that scene, she got drunk, but then that led to more anxiety. Another milestone came in the 2018 film Red Sparrow, in which she portrayed a Russian ballet dancer recruited to be a Soviet spy. During an appearance on The Ellen DeGeneres Show to promote the movie, Lawrence explained that she loved the script so much that she was willing to do whatever it took to play the role, even if that meant exiting her comfort zone with respect to clothing. She said in the interview, "I just didn't want to miss out on it because of my weird insecurities." Game of Thrones became as renowned for its graphic sex scenes as it was for its gripping fantasy drama. Among the various actors on the show to get naked is Emilia Clarke, whose character, Daenerys Targaryen, was frequently nude in the series' early seasons. Appearing on Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast, Clarke explained she just recently graduated from drama school when she got the part and initially didn't realize just how naked she'd be, nor how frequently.
I've been on a film set twice before then, and now I'm on a film set completely naked with all of these people.
Over time, Clarke explained she'd learned to stand up for herself when it comes to how much skin she'll allow to be shown on screen. She went on, "I've had fights on set before where I'm like, no, the sheet stays up, and they're like, you don't want to disappoint your Game of Thrones fans, and I'm like, f*** you." Of course, that didn't help when she was with her parents viewing a pivotal episode of Game of Thrones together, apparently forgetting about her lack of clothing. She told Radio Times, "I ended up sitting them down and being like, let's watch it, and then instantly regretting it." Casey Wilson is known to comedy fans for such TV series as the sitcom Happy Endings and the Wall Street dramedy Black Monday. Back in 2013, she starred alongside June Diane Raphael in Ass Backwards, a pageant-themed comedy movie that the two women also wrote. A scene in that film required the women to strip. In fact, it's the opening scene of the movie, a clever reference to the title. Wilson told Entertainment Weekly, "We open on a shot of our asses. There is no going back from that." When discussing the movie with Vulture, Wilson admitted that stripping down in front of a camera wasn't something about which she was particularly comfortable, even though Wilson herself wrote the scene. She told the publication, "We wrote that the movie opens on a shot of our bare asses, and when we were on all fours in a van on the side of the road, with our makeup artist lovingly touching up our asses with ass makeup, I thought, why did we write this? And I needed an ass double, but we didn't have the budget." Ben Stiller isn't one of those actors who typically drops trow for a film role, but it has happened. In the 2004 rom-com Along Came Polly, in which he starred alongside Jennifer Aniston. In one quick scene, viewers are treated to a glimpse of Stiller's bare butt. Stiller recalled a conversation he had with director John Hamburg to Phase 9 Entertainment, saying, "It was very quick. John promised me he would cut it out of the movie if it didn't get a laugh." Apparently, that scene did stir up enough laughter to make the final cut, even though Stiller admitted he hadn't actually viewed that scene, since at that point he hadn't watched the whole film through to the end. In fact, Stiller admitted that he was such a novice at on-screen nudity that he didn't realize that he didn't actually have to be naked. He told BlackFilm.com, "Also, I was told later on I could have had a double, and nobody told me that. I wish I had." Amanda Seyfried has experienced plenty of Hollywood success, ranging from the beloved Mamma Mia movies to her turn in Mean Girls to portraying Silicon Valley scam artist Elizabeth Holmes in the TV miniseries The Dropout.
"Anybody who doubts my company doubts me."
During the course of her career, Seyfried has mostly chosen to avoid nude scenes, after getting naked in one of her earliest films. As she explained in a 2022 interview with Porter, she felt at the time that she had no choice but to do what she was told, even if it made her deeply uncomfortable. Seyfried recalled, "Being 19, walking around without my underwear on? Like, are you kidding me? How did I let that happen? Oh, I know why. I was 19 and I didn't want to upset anybody, and I wanted to keep my job. That's why." despite a lengthy roster of screen credits extending from the late 1960s until the late 2000s. Maria Schneider, who died at age 58 in 2011, remains best known for Last Tango in Paris, directed by Bernardo Bertolucci. In the still controversial film, Schneider, then 19, played a young French woman who embarks on a torrid affair with a middle-aged American, played by 48-year-old Marlon Brando. Speaking with the Daily Mail in 2007, Schneider revealed that she'd never had issues with on-screen nudity until filming Last Tango in Paris, that is. She told the publication, "I never went naked in a movie again after Last Tango, even though I was offered many such roles." The reason, she explained, had to do with the film's most notorious scene, in which Brando's character Paul sexually assaults her character Jean, a scene she contended wasn't in the script and which she hadn't been told about until immediately before it was going to be shot. She went on, "I felt humiliated, and to be honest, I felt a little raped, both by Marlon and by Bertolucci." Bertolucci later confirmed her account. "If you or anyone you know has been a victim of sexual assault, help is available. Visit the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network website or contact RAIN's National Helpline at 1-800-656-HOPE. 4673.